What's going on? What is going on? It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and I will welcome you back to Walking with a Purpose, Embracing the Journey Before You Reach the Destination, Episode 2. Now, before we get into all the major points for this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell, select all, so you will not miss one video. Now, 2 weeks ago, we discussed where am I at this point? Where am I at currently as I'm going through my transition from this year to the new year, from a financial perspective, from a mental perspective, from a physical perspective? What goals, aspirations do I have so that I can get to understand who I am and where I need to go? Now, for this week, what we will discuss will be the importance of self-evaluation. You have to be able to look internally and figure out what things can be resolved and what things can be fixed in order to bridge the gap or to expose yourself to something major. Now, as we reflect on our self-evaluation of ourselves, and also the biggest thing is what needs to be done for this time frame, is understanding what type of things have I learned for myself and about myself. One, I have high expectations of myself, meaning I don't do things just to, get it out the way. I want to do the best, be the best, and do my thing. In addition to that, I care about my future, meaning if I have to sacrifice certain things now to get where I need to be, I'm okay with that. Also, I understand my flaws. Everybody has things that they struggle with or things that they need to improve on. I understand those. How can I maximize on those? Having a game plan. Every time I do things, I need to lay out a game plan so I know where to start and where to finish. And the biggest thing for me that I've learned is I'm not afraid to ask for assistance. I know that I don't know everything. I know that there's always something new coming out. So I have to be well-rounded in that aspect as well. So what healthy habits have I created for myself? The biggest thing is I always review over my short-term goals and measure what progress I've made now versus what I should have made in the future. Reconstructing my goals for the upcoming year. Every year around this time, I sit back, reflect about things that I've done, goals that I've achieved, and which ones need to be pushed forward to keep in short term, or do I need to push them back to long term due to my current situation? Making my physical health a priority, meaning every week I take at least 2 days out, go to the gym, work on that upper body, lower body to ensure that I keep myself healthy. That's very important. Creating time for myself, meaning isolating myself from all things that are going on in order to understand me, because sometimes we be so quick to be around all these things that are going on in our lives that we forget about taking care of us. And when that happens, our body shuts down or we might have health concerns. So taking a second, I don't care if it's an hour, for myself. In addition to that, reading books to keep my mind sharp. Every night, I try to read the Bible every single night to have a more of a spiritual perspective on things. Now, I'm going to add in trying to have a book that I read quarterly. Quarterly means have one book that I'm responsible for reading for within that three month duration. So each 3 months, I'm gonna have a new book that I'm reading so I can have a fresh mind and a fresh perspective. Now, as we looked at the idea of self-evaluation, it all goes down and boils down to your time. Time is essential and you can't get it back. So a couple questions you have to ask yourself. How much time did I waste on this unnecessary situations or things? Because honestly, even when you're working or at work, you're going to have downtime where you're doing what you want to do and not necessarily what you need to be doing. So let's just be honest. How have we maximized, or have we really wasted a lot of time in those instances? And another question would be, can I have, what can I do to have better value with the time I have coming up for the new year. Looking at how well or how horrible I did with my time, what can I do going into this new year and currently ending this new year? How can I end up on a high note to get to that point where my time is valued and I'm maxing out time throughout Monday through Friday, just maxing those things out. So when we hit those things about time, you have to go into the next step of getting into relationships, all different versions of relationships. Question you have to ask based on what you're dealing with now and who you're dealing with as far as relationships when you're self-evaluating. What have I learned from my relationships? Every single relationship you have in life, you can learn something from. You can take it with you and it will allow you to be able to move forward in life, or it can allow you to say, I need to get rid of that. So what have I learned from my relationships? Next will be how have those relationships helped to grow, or have they drifted apart during this time? Meaning, the relationship that you currently have now, were you able to grow in those relationships, or slowly but surely were the connection dissipating? And sometimes that happens because you're growing and you're going to a space where maybe your mindset has changed. So the things you used to like, you may not like anymore, which cause you to drift from certain people. It's nothing personal sometimes. It's just mainly you're going into a different step in your life. Now let's talk about this money, because at the end of the day, money is everything when it comes to surviving in this world. Financial management is so important. So we can look back on the economy, we look back on all these different things, but we got to ask ourselves a real question. Have I lost control of my finances? If so, what will it take for my financial stability to return? Now, when I say loss of control, meaning that when you get paid, all your money going towards bills or what you owe. And 9 times out of 10, you really barely can make groceries, or you can barely even put gas in your car. You got to decide between the two, which is crazy. But as you're going through these things, you have to really look, okay, how am I doing right now and what can I do to improve? To improve your financial stability, this is just my opinion. Look at what you can possibly pay off. Evaluate what you can pay off. Execute on that stuff, get rid of it. So it'll be one less headache that you go in each and every month of your life. So as I'm looking at all these things, of course, you're dealing with the money, of course, you're dealing with relationships, learning yourself in addition to relationships. But we have to always look at the faith level. And these are very important times and difficult times right now. So look at it from this perspective. Am I consistently seeking God on an everyday basis? That's one. And do I believe that I have a strong connection with him no matter what life throws against me? Let's just be honest. Every day I'm always trying to have a conversation with the man upstairs. That's my dude. I love him. I always do that so I can keep myself mentally in check. And the biggest, hardest thing is allowing yourself to be in that space and continue to be consistent when things ain't going right. When the outlook and the vision and stuff don't seem right, you're still keeping the steadiness. So regardless of what's going on around you or internally within you, continue to keep your soundness when it comes to connecting with God. Because you have to realize he knows what you're going through. He just wants you to allow him to come in the door. And that's one thing I love about him, is that he's not going to force anything. He gives you an option to say, look, I will help you out if I'm asked. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So now, as I reflect over all these things, when it comes to redirecting and self-evaluating myself, what is next? Here are 6 things that I've thought about that'll be next as far as my next moves. Understanding that you have to make sacrifices. That comes with anything in life. You have to be prepared for sacrifice. That's number 1. Number 2, learn how to control the narrative, meaning that we're the author of what book we're writing. So we need to understand that we need to control our own narrative versus letting other people do that. 2, look to seek guidance and wisdom from the Father, meaning allowing God to give you wisdom and guidance through his teachings and also through prayer. So learning to be aligned with that. Maximizing your time. I cannot underestimate that. Your time is valuable, so maximize it. Adjust your plans when it don't work out. It happens, life happens. Just make adjustments. Don't stop. Just make adjustments to what you're doing. And finally, protect your peace at all costs. Let's just be honest. There's so many things negatively going on in this world. If you need to isolate yourself or get rid of certain things, it's all right. You have to do what's best for you. And now, as we close, I would like to thank you for taking the time out to check out my channel. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, select all, so you will not miss one single video. Now, before we close, let's keep it real and let's keep it raw. We cannot control the hand that was dealt for us, but we can move with purpose. It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and now I'm signing out. Peace.